Look at the Nexus. The Marines take down TSM.
And this is not an upset.
Their opponents, it's the Gigabyte Marines, a team that the underdogs coming into this one. Top lane Archie, jungle Levi, mid lane Optimus, AD carry No Way, support Nevin, and their coach Tinikun. Honestly, a fantastic team. They played through the play-ins, but fighting from the red side.
Yeah, just 3-1 entire split, but he...
Oh, that.
Ooh, okay. There you go. You're going to throw your jungle predictions under the bus. But Archie, though, he's a guy that we talked about, and, you know, he could lose lane. Some of those deaths from Reckless were from some unforced errors and not necessarily, you know, checking all the boxes in the bottom lane and having enough caution down there.
See what they can bring, how they can adapt. Fnatic coming into the blue side, Gigabyte Marine.
And bring it back.
Brought it back at MSI. It's always been a controversial strategy, but they have made it work a couple of times. You can't doubt them 100%. Soaz already struggling. You could see.
It's another way of also getting around, we have a Lulu with no flash that would probably be targeted by the enemy Elise. Now we're going to lane swap. You know, that's not going to take into account a lot of Elise's strengths there in the early game and kind of dissuade them from going for that.
And now we're looking at a duo jungle. Top laner and jungler working together to bring it back down to the bottom side of the map.
This is kicking it old school in a way, right? Knowing the Galio can't lane successfully, so they jungle together as you would expect. A big thing that we may see coming out of the Tristan and the Lulu is, okay, the level 1's a bit weak, level 2's a big power spike, so at any moment they could group up, they could go back to the bottom lane. But speaking of grouping up and going to the bottom lane, it's a level 4 Levi.
Yeah, every little bit of experience they squeezed out of the jungle there. Every single last hit did go over to Levi, and then Archie here finally getting one in lane. But Fnatic still focusing on that bottom side. Brox is here, Caps is on the way. Even though there are wards, it's going to be a party.
Oh, Levi, Archie holding on, TP coming in, Coon going to go wide. Brox is still pushing forward. Coming out yet, first blood dropping for Fnatic, and now pulling back. Gigabyte Marines biting off more than they can chew.
They still have Elise here to continue the dive. Caps is actually going to go for it. Jesus doesn't
Still
go down.
alive, waiting on the roof, but there's a TP coming in behind him.
Oh no.
Are they actually going to be able to grab? Caps needs to retreat. He's completely out of mana. Soaz running. Archie trying to taunt up. No one going to walk in range. They're trying to trade the aggro. It's an absolute mess here on the bottom side.
Remember that this mess is all due to two members topside for Gigabyte Marines trying to take down the top turret as well. During this chase through the secondary turrets here, it's so early in the game though, you have to remember there's still reductions to champion damage. We rarely ever get to even bring this up because people are not on towers that much, but Tristan and Lulu trying to work their way through it.
And if you want a duo to be pushing a top lane outer turret, even if it does get damage reduction, it's a Tristan and a Lulu. Frankly, they are just so good at it. The wave clear in particular is where they excel. So they will spend most of their time hitting that structure as we get to watch one of the more awkward level 1 dives.
All right, so they try to target the level 1 Galio, which is a good choice, but Broxa does miss the cocoon there to start it all off. Then he doesn't actually have the tower aggro, so a little bit of awkward juggling there by Fnatic, and Jesus ends up having to flash forward there to try and not die to the turrets. And then the teleport here does come in as well to try and delay them and buy some more time for that pushing up top.
And let's be clear, that's a level 1 Maokai. He only has sapling.
Well, it's not a level 1 champion, and it's not a Maokai. Oh, they did it!
It is!
On the other side!
Oh no, Soaz! That's the ignite! Now we know why he takes it. No Way's gonna grab the kill. Proxy comes over the wall, Cocoon connects. Fnatic fired back.
I thought you were still talking about the one on bottom side with Archie teleporting in, but top side, Soaz goes down, and there's the extra goal going over.
Soaz, I'm pretty sure he just thought he had Elise a bit closer than where she was, and he was not level 1. He ticks over to 2, but he's already dead. Remember, that's a heal ignite. You're walking towards the Lulu. She doesn't need to flash in that situation at all.
Just pushing forward, just Hunt comes in. Paranoia! 5 minutes into the game!
He is 2 levels higher than anyone else on his team right now. Talk about power leveling there for Levi. Is able to get it off, but Caps wants to answer again. I don't know if they can push the minion wave. Minion has to wait for it.
Trying to make his way out. Tong comes out, but Reckless is still free hitting. Soaz comes in. Finally level 2. That's enough. Caps gets a kill for himself.
Welcome to World Levi.
He's going to grab another one. He might be able to take down Reckless too. He's pushing forward. That's the double for the Nocturne.
And Fnatic are embracing the style a little bit here as continued roams from Caps do get them some kills, but Levi doesn't let them get out hands clean.
Not quite animal style, it's a bit more carefree than that, but so calculated from both of these teams. The level 6 strategy from the Nocturne, but the immediate reactions from Fnatic, they are keeping themselves as close as they can in this game. Caps is huge.
Yeah, but so is the Nocturne. We talked about unpredictable strategies. Gigabyte Marines are delivering thus far.
And one of the things about Nocturne that people always criticize when you think of bringing them up to competitive play is that's a very binary champion, right? You are all in, you're just this death missile, and you try and go forward and kill your target. If this is the one that you're power leveling, and this is the one you're getting so far ahead, then you're definitely going to be able to kill your target. And early on in the game, you don't really have to worry about people, being separated like that.
Well, they Cap's going to get locked up. Optimus level 6 means he can chase down for free, but might not even need to. Rip walk forward, trying to find it. Flash from the auto will shut him down.
And brilliant tanking from Archie as well to ensure the kill is secure. Caps dies. That was a 3-0 member, so it's even a shutdown for the Gigabyte Marine.
Remember, this is why we kept highlighting mobility in Champion Select for this team. And remember, Optimus, the Kassadin, one of the biggest picks for him, one of his 2 most picked champions this entire year, and now he's the one getting kills. This is more scary for the late game, because Nocturne is one thing, but if the Kassadin starts to get rolling as well, the Fnatic are going to have more problems on their hands.
Pressure now on Fnatic to turn this back in their favor. We can see the gold lead coming in for Gigabyte Marines. Only 7 minutes in, and they've got 1.5K in their favor. And they have to respect the potential here for this Nocturne to come out of anywhere.
Oh no, that's 3 levels. He's lucky. Okay, we're waiting for Nocturne's ultimate, so we have to take a second to appreciate the fact that he's level 7, still the highest on the Rift. The reason he got 7 was because of the assistance from Galio so early, and now he's power leveled his entire farm, his entire jungle through 2 waves to get that experience level to 6. We have to just quickly appreciate that fact before he gets his ultimate up again. I've no doubt we'll look for a target.
Now Archie doing what he can to hold on. It appears the pace of the game has slowed down, maybe until that Nocturne all comes back, but still the pressure mounts.
Well, they are chunking Archie down, and Broxa's on the bottom half of the map, but he doesn't seem to be looking for a dive. Even though Archie is defensively warding here, focus seems to be mid.
Locking him up, that's going to be in trouble. Lulu going to be locked up, Paranoia comes in, Levi moving forward immediately. Caps just gets deleted. Soaz doing what he can to fight back, going to get knocked back in the end by the Buster Shot. Levi tanking blows, can't afford to take that tower shot, but maybe he'll make it out. Goodbye, baby! Kitty Cat's bringing it home.
Kitten, attack! And he's able to get the kill there. Double buffs there for Soaz now. They were split. They went 2 different directions with 2 towers shooting them. No Way and Levi do split up, and they're cut down.
The biggest difference there, of course, is that Soaz is able to come towards the middle lane. He doesn't want any piece of 1v1ing Optimus in the side lane. Optimus with a teleport chooses not to use it. Big mistakes as well from Nevin, tanking for far too long.
Important once again, we talked about the shutdown on the Caps, but now a shutdown on the Levi as well. Crucial for Fnatic to come back with that tower. They've just about evened up the gold. And coming into 10 minutes, there's already 12 kills.
And we finally have a level 6 for the Galio. So the ultimate will be available for Archie now to join halfway across the map almost and really get every player now involved in every single skirmish.
Of course, we just saw the level 6 from Soaz on top of that. He's not going to have an ultimate, but Archie, big trouble.
Move forward, the heal for movement speed. They're just chasing him down. The minion wave going to block any potential cocoons. He leaps right back to the thick of it. Archie is a man without fear, because here comes the Kassadin. It wasn't the right call. Looks like it will just be the disengage. Caps, though, man on a mission. In comes Reckless. That's the CC. Takes down Archie.
There's a reason that we evolved to have fear, though. It can be safe to have fear.
We turn our attention back to the mid lane. 4 members strong from Fnatic. Optimus debating what to do here, but looks like Soaz is going to be pressured out. They need to make a play in the mid lane as Soaz is doomed to fall here. Tries to twist his advance back. A little bit of healing. I don't think he's going to be able to save his way out of that one. No Way on a killing spree.
RNG's just the real MVP. Gives the crit for No Way as he's about to try and escape under the structure. The back and forth, the ebb and flow of fighting whenever Fnatic are visible.
All right, I want to try and get out in front of a play before all these things start breaking out now. And let's talk about ultimates that are available. Nocturne plus Galio. Both of them, it is a level 9 jungle and a level 7 Galio. Levels may be switched here, but that is a huge combo, especially with the possibility of Kassadin chasing people down. Now Gigabyte Marines, with all the outer turrets down and all this extra territory to work with, they can turn this into much bigger and more coordinated fights than just the small skirmishes.
Optimus pushing in, not going to give away that Rip Tail for free. Looking to chase down Broxa, but in the middle of 3, in comes the Galio. Optimus out to safety.
Oh no!
No! Rift Herald taking it away. has Fnatic's back in that one. Now the Realm War forward. Archie gonna look for the taunt, only gonna connect on 2. He should be taken down as well. Reckless gonna grab that kill.
Did we say coordinated? Just kidding. Optimus is going to go try and take on all challengers there. And he does not quite get out of swipe range from Shelly. Meanwhile, though, every time there is a fight on the other side, they're pushing turrets.
Here comes the paranoia, in comes Levi, and down goes Soaz.
Even No Way surviving. So right now they're playing the turret game. They're sieging. That was a very long Rift Herald to try and secure just because of Optimus throwing himself at them. You've got the Galio ultimate, the Nocturne combo, yes, but unfortunately the teleports weren't there and they were just trying to react.
Thinking about it, though, just theoretically, a Rift Herald could get you many gains in a game where it's so spread out and so many fights are breaking out across the map. This may be one of those times where we see multiple turrets taken by a Rift Herald. It's definitely going to be up to Fnatic to be able to try and use that effectively. Yeah. But Levi here is probably the most effective guy in the entire game so far.
Now looking for the 1v1 with Caps, does manage to spell shield. Fear comes out, red buff is ticking. Caps running for his life, but Levi should be able to burn this down. Duskbringer burning him out.
He does so much damage. That's the blue buff now for Levi. I thought he was out of mana, but he gets that back.
And now he's 2 levels above anyone in the entire game. Double buff Nocturne, ready to roll.
Guys, when we talk about teams playing around their carries, this is not exactly what I had in mind. Level 6 at 5 minutes, level 11 at 15. Levi is playing it out of his mind, and his team are setting him up for success.
You can tell it's been a pre-planned strategy as well. They work very hard around Levi. All of this preparation leading into Worlds, and this is one of their many strategies.
Has to be careful here, is locked up. Spellshield's not going to save him from that. As soon as we praise him, he goes right back down.
They are pushing both lanes on either side of him, but Fnatic are able to collapse. They take down the extremely high-level jungler, and let me remind you, there are catch-up mechanics in this game. He is the highest level there, so they did get some bonuses as far as shutting down as well.
So much of this
There's
game.
that Herald.
Not quite what we expected, but we'll see. We talked about Herald potentially being a giant boon for Fnatic, a huge advantage. This looks like it could be its first turret taken down, but can they get any more off the back of this?
It looks like they're going to play this one calmly. Everyone was there from the Gigabyte Marines. The jungler just comes back up as well, so Levi would be around if they committed to a second structure. I like the reservations from Fnatic this time. Take the free turret, take every free turret you can, even topside, because Fnatic are all recalling, no one knows that from the Marines. Caps is able to freely push.
Yep, they are able to get, looks like it'll be 2 here if he's able to finish. But, however, Gigabyte Marines are pushing mid and bottom right now. Plus, there is a Mountain Drake available, which they could retreat to. So, looks like they're still going to get 1-for-1. If Soaz doesn't get them all.
Soaz is trying to start the fight off. Paranoia is available and used immediately, but it looks like Archie is the one who's going to get taken down. Winter War not going to have an effect. It will be the trade back as Levi just rips through Soaz.
A big trade in the end, but it was just the trade. The turret still went down, but that was a reactionary turret. Gigabyte Marines still in the back foot.
Yeah, funniest thing here, pings go down from both teams. They both want to push. Gigabyte Marines ping bottom there to try and force on that inhibitor turret, and Fnatic had previously pinged in the mid lane, but they're trying to answer now.
Realm War, Optimus trying to slow down with the Force Pulse. Brock moving forward, level 10 has the red buff, slowed up. Fnatic can't push any more forward though. Optimus, easy escape.
The Gigabyte Marines are just keeping up pressure in at least 2 lanes plus jungle at almost all times right now. So even when Fnatic collapse and they get some extra kills and they win a skirmish, they aren't able to pressure afterwards.
And I'm really enjoying this strategy for them because you can see it was designed from level 1. The fact that they have a Kassadin right now as well, they can go towards the Lichbane, eventually can split push, gives them that something extra. And when all of these turrets are already gone, if they get any edge on the map, suddenly the inhibitor dies, everything continues. We get to watch once again as Soaz goes in.
So he's able to get off the ultimate here, snares multiple people, nice knockback as well. But with this Nocturne ultimate, they're able to answer back anyway. Optimus on that catch that you talked about, providing a bunch of extra burst damage in combination with Nocturne to take down the front line.
And we can see in the meantime, in live time, it will be the Mountain Drake going down, a boom for Gigabyte Marines if they want to try to force that Baron. And we're getting close to that time. It's still only 18 minutes. But you have to feel like that is the objective that could very well break open this game. But at this rate, who really knows? We could see a 5v5 at any moment.
I mean, interestingly, the map is already open. So for what it's worth, the next big fight around the objective, if it's the Baron, which you would expect it to be, if you're Fnatic, is going to be a hotly contested area. However, the Gigabyte Marines, because they're focusing so hard on pushing, you're seeing that strategy in play. They may not want to go down there. They may force Fnatic to go for it.
And another benefit of this constant pushing from the Gigabyte Marines and this pressure they're putting out, they're taking over the ward game as they do it. They control so much territory on this map that it becomes difficult for Fnatic to really reset up, some safe territory for themselves. Currently, those 2 control wards Fnatic have up on their blue quadrant of the jungle are lighting up the pathway towards the Baron. They desperately need to keep this quadrant of the jungle in their control so they don't lose out. It could even, with the pace of this game, you're talking about the 20-minute Baron coming up, it could go down at, 21-30.
Once again, we talk about fear, we talk about the Nocturne, the Cassidy, the potential at any moment for someone to come out of a bush and one-shot you in this game. The dust play, now the paranoia.
Oh, the
Zhonya's play, though, paired perfectly. Cap's going to make out to safety.
Yeah, the Paladin play there. Bubble Hearth there gets Caps out. And on the bottom side, Tristana going to do a similar jump away. But Jesus goes in.
Out comes the Galio. Ultimate. We'll see how many knockouts he's going to get. Just one. Now trying to find the taunt onto Reckless, but a nice sidestep comes through. Even wants to make it a safety. Archie pushing forward. Optimus is in the middle of the team. That's a fed Cassidy. Now Reckless is in trouble. No way, has no fear. And Justice is going to get dropped down. He's looking for a zone. He flashes forward. That's going to be the shutdown and the triple.
3 big kills, and they are still pushing on the bottom side of the rift.
And all of them onto No Way there. The 5-kill Tristana taking down the inhibitor turret.
TP coming in, Gigabyte Marines doubling down. They got an advantage and they want to push it home. Fnatic on the back foot. Vietnam coming up big on the world stage.
And that's incredible as a reactionary play. Once again, the Gigabyte Marines through vision control, through their ability to rotate and coordinate as a team, you're starting to see that come to fruition.
And they just have no hesitation when collapsing. Even if a member goes down in these fights, they still go for the re-engage. They still say, we're going to get kills back afterwards. This is why, again, we highlight so often with these guys, mobility from Champion Select. Here comes the Galio ultimate. Here comes from mid lane. Cassidon's teleporting in as well. They immediately turn this around. Even though Lulu, with no flash, was caught out, they're able to turn it around so quickly and work through the tank line.
Yeah, Soaz not really a big threat with his just Spirit Visage against an AD carry, even though both top laners are behind. Galio's utility with damage reduction and being able to provide it comes up tops.
Yeah, No Way here. We have to highlight this guy for the Gigabyte Marines. When he was added to the team, they absolutely dominated the entire region so well. And he was highly sought after for quite a long time by the team. See what they can do now, though, because Optimus is on a control ward in mid lane, and he looks like he's got some fancy ideas. Nocturne Ultimate is available, remember.
Have to be safe. Karma can maybe save one person, but even the shielding might not be enough in the face of so many strong members with so much mobility.
All right, so now we have to take a look at this from Fnatic's point of view, because this is the difficult part, right? We're seeing the whole map, and we're seeing Gigabyte Marines kind of overwhelm everything, but it's Fnatic that need to come up with a stabilizing game plan.
Yeah.
They have the more stable team comp that they can try and set up.
And let's be clear here, when we talk about Fnatic, if anyone was going to be able to take down an unconventional, hyper-aggressive style, we thought it would be the European representative who played this style for the first half of their split, who found success in this style, but now they look lost in the face of Gigabyte Marines. We have to wonder, where is this play going to come from? Who is going to step up on Fnatic?
And that's the thing, they've revolutionized what that style looks like. Fnatic can never be prepared for how they played out the 1 to 6 stage for a Nocturne and how early he ticks over to 6 in ganks. That's a very hard thing to get used to, but that's continued through the rest of the game. And you're right, ultimately, Fnatic, they need to try and find a way to slow this game down, but to slow it down against the team that's constantly pressuring you is really hard.
Gonna have to be now, make or break on this Baron, 4,000 health.
Pushing in, dropping lower, Paranoia, blocking vision into the pit. They can't even see it happen. The Icon gonna let him know it came through, but Caps is just gonna get burned through immediately. Making the Paladin play to make it out once again. Soaz leaping forward. Reckless still untouched on the backside, but the tanks are already dropping. Fnatic is getting routed. The Baron dropping in the favor of Gigabyte Marines. They'll take a Cat Pajama Man anyway on the back half.
And now they've got minions in bottom side as well that are already on the Nexus turrets. Optimus is chasing Fnatic and trying to delay their backs as they actually circle around, and they were looking to cut off minions maybe, but not going to be the case.
Optimus might be cleaned up, but the rest of the team is moving into the base. Galio comes down. Maybe he can stop the backs as well. No Way is pushing to the base.
He's looking to end the game right now. If he can stop the teleports, it's over.
TP goes through. Doesn't look like it's going to get canceled. It's Caps versus the world at the moment. The rest of Fnatic caught in a fight. No Way versus Caps. One battle to decide the game, but Broxa is here for backup, and Gigabyte Marines are going to have to bare their teeth and wait for a few more minutes.
Meanwhile, if you look at the mini-map there, they were still... Oh,
no way, no fear! Moving in, Caps! Ooh, gets taken back. Maokai pushing in. Broxa going to get tucked down as well. There's not enough damage to kill the Tristana. No Way is legendary! But still, Gigabyte Marines, they're not quite strong enough to end the game. So as though just feeding fuel into the fire. Reckless here with the double drops. That's the triple. He's looking for the quadra. Reckless gets cut down as well. Penta could come out. No Way is hungry for it. The team is there. That's it.
It's a legendary 11-kill Tristana, and Optimus takes the Penta. Gigabyte Marines are going to take the game.
Gigabyte Marines taking down the third seed from Europe. A first blow for Vietnam.
What a performance from the Gigabyte Marines. From the beginning of the game to the very end, they had a plan, and they executed on that strategy. Fnatic left not knowing what to do.
Woo. Yeah, you said it, Kobe. Woo. An insanely high-paced game, and it's been breakneck pace in our first three. This one just topping off. Gigabyte Marines say, hey, you think you can play a fast game? We can do one better. And still, I think we're never prepared for what Gigabyte Marines bring to the table. As much as we prep, as much as we talk about imagination, they always seem to think of something that just feels impossible to anybody else.
They make breaking the meta look so good.
And almost so easy at the same time. There were some hiccups, but ultimately the strategy was sound. And we came into this game and we were like, is it an upset if the Gigabyte Marines can beat Fnatic? I'm not sure it is an upset in the end, and it might be an upset that Fnatic lost.
I can guarantee European fans are upset, Rusty.